Everybody has their favorite gospel. Mine's Mark. That surprises most people. Most prefer John or Luke or maybe even Matthew. But Mark? I guess it grows out of the year I spent with the Greek text of Mark while working on my doctoral dissertation. But mostly it comes from Mark's courageous preoccupation with the cross. Mark can't wait to get to the cross. It's as though everything leading up to the cross is just preliminary for Mark. One New Testament scholar famously described Mark as a passion story with an extended introduction. Jesus is going to Jerusalem, says Mark, but not to be hailed a conquering hero, to be nailed on a Roman gibbet. Why? Because it was the will of God. That's right, the cross was the will of God. And not just for Jesus, but for his disciples too. You see, as counterintuitive as it may seem, there is a way of life that can only be entered through death. Save yourself, Jesus says in Mark, and you lose everything. Sacrifice yourself, and you will discover a self you never knew existed. But the cross has not been popular in some Christian circles. We prefer the empty tomb to the cross. The cross is such a downer, isn't it? Perhaps that's why the Gospel of Mark has never been popular in the churches as has the other Gospels. But Mark is right, even if a bit unsettling, to focus on the cross. It's common sense, really. There can be no resurrection until somebody dies. And not just any death, this death. I was a young PhD student when I read Professor Martin Hengel's book, The Crucifixion. He points out, among other things, that the Latin word for cross, crux, is a four-letter word, both literally and figuratively. It was not spoken in polite company because only the dregs of society were crucified, and because the method of execution was so gruesome and grisly that no one dared speak of it, which is what the word obscene literally means. If you've seen Mel Gibson's The Passion of the Christ, you got a glimpse of it. It was violent, ugly, brutal, bloody. As a New Testament scholar, I applaud him for not sparing us. Christians need to see the cross for what it was, the obscene, shocking, brutal murder of God's only Son. Only then can we comprehend the consequences of the words. And he became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. Only then can we dare sing, I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back. No turning back. Till I see you again next time, take care. God bless.